Have you ever just been out on the street and you see a car and you're like, wow, that is really ugly? Well, now we can all experience that pain together. This is Ugly Cars. Alright, so let me tell you how this whole thing is going to go down, alright? Basically, we're going to look at a car. I'm going to talk about it, design-wise, and, all the specs and all that. But being that right now, as of recording this, I can't drive yet, I can't tell you how the car feels, but I can tell you, just the technical aspect and what I think of the design, which I'm going to score, 1 through 10. 10 being decent, as in I wouldn't care if I drove it. 1 being, oh god, burn it. Alright, so that's how this is gonna work, so let's jump right into it. The Mercedes-Benz Biotic. Thank God this thing was only a concept car. I mean, really, just take one look at it, and you'll completely understand. Well, since this has to be educational in a sense, I guess, I've got to tell you more about it other than just how ugly it is. Well, it was produced in the year 2005. It is the literally only one in existence, the picture you're seeing right now. It has a 1.9-liter, 4-cylinder, direct injection turbo diesel engine running at 138 horsepower. That was okay for the 60s or 70s. Not exactly a good 21st century car. It has an automatic CVT transmission. I have no idea what CVT means. It is 167 inches in length, 71.5 inches in width, and 62.8 inches in height. Not exactly the tallest van concept thing, whatever you want to call it. But let me tell you, you take one look at this thing and you wonder who made this? Who designed this and why? Well, I'll tell you who designed it. Well, not exactly who designed it, but more what inspired it. There is a creature in the ocean called the yellow boxfish. Here's a picture of it. And here's a comparison shot. Do you understand now? On the scale, I give it a 1 out of 10. Completely butt ugly. The Subaru Brat. Oh god. Well, it's a 2-door coupe car / truck hybrid, somewhat like the El Camino. The only problem is it's Japanese, so, well, they're getting a tariff for that. It was produced between 1978 and 1994, has a 1.6-liter EA71H4 engine, running at 67 or 68 horsepower, depending on where you look. Now, it came with this engine from launch 1978 to 1980. After that, it was replaced with a 1.6-liter EA-8184 engine, which is basically just a flat 4-cylinder, that's what an H4 is, running at 73 horsepower. Now, that was in the car for the rest of its production years. As for transmission, you pretty much had an option between a 4-speed manual and a 3-speed automatic engine. The car is 174.2 inches in length, 63.8 inches in width, and 55.7 inches in height. Now, when you look at this car, what do you think it looks like? If you guessed an El Camino, you would be right, probably. I'm telling you, someone at Subaru in the late 70s went to America, saw an El Camino, and was like, yes, we've got to do that. The only problem is we had a tariff on Japanese trucks at the time. I believe we might still have a tariff on Japanese trucks. So when they brought it to America, they've had to do something different to it. What did they do? They put seats in the bed. They put seats in the bed of the truck. This makes it lose a lot of space in the back, making it not very practical to use as a pickup truck. Not like an El Camino or, God, any other pickup truck. Like, really. As for the scale, 6.5 out of 10. Not completely ugly, but let's be honest, those seats in the back really do hurt it a little bit. The Trabant 601. I hate this car. Not just because of how it looks. I hate what this thing stands for. After all, it was built in East Germany. So, but let's actually talk about the dang thing. So, it's a C-segment, two-door saloon. Well, that's what the, one of the options was. C-segment is basically just the European way of saying a family-size car. Now, there was also an estate, which was a little bit bigger in the back, and then there was a doorless ATV. This car was made in Soviet Russia. I don't think anybody's going to use it as a dune buggy, probably because there really isn't that much desert in Russia. Just saying. It was produced between the years 1963 and 1990. Engine-wise, it had a P6X. Don't ask me, I don't know what that is. It's a Russian something or other. 2-cylinder, 2-stroke auto engine. Very sort of primitive. Running at 23 horsepower. Oh God. But don't worry, it gets better. That version of the engine was only produced for 5 years, between 1963 and 1968. In 1969, they got a 26 horsepower engine. And they kept putting that in the car until 1990. Oh God. Now, it has a 4-speed manual transmission, which is more or less standard for the time, pretty much until automatic transmission became a thing. It is a clean 140 inches in length, 59 inches in width, and 57 inches in height. Now, basically, from what I can gather about the design, East Germany has tried to make their own version of the Volkswagen Beetle. It was made by communists and not a raging lunatic. However, this did not go well. It did not go well. As you see, it lacks power. It's very unappealing to look at. It basically just looks like someone's taken a look at a Mini and thought, yes, we can make that uglier. But here's the most interesting bit of information about this car. according to reports and or some surveys from various places on the internet, this was the absolute best car that Soviet Russia ever produced. Let that sink in. Gets a 6 out of 10. It doesn't look terrible, but the rest of the car makes it absolutely awful.